That's it. It has started. Hello, Robert Foertsch. Flat Earth
Greetings.
calling Robert Foertsch. Anyway,
Hey, great to see y'all.
we're here today with Patricia. Oh, just lost Patricia.
Oh, come
No,
back. Come back.
I just yeah, she's been having internet problems.
Ah, yeah.
Huh. Anyway, how are you, Robert? We're here. Oh, there she is. Hey, she's back. Yeah, I just
Hey, welcome
left
back,
her a message.
Patricia.
I said you're here with me and Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Patricia? Oh no, we've had this problem before. I don't know what to say. Patricia.
Well,
Oh,
my sound's gone a bit Dalek-y, so
there she is.
Well, good to see y'all. What I wanted to
my
do.
sound's gone a bit Dalek-y, so I can't understand what you're saying. Hi,
Okay.
Robert. Hi, Karen.
Hello, my
Greetings.
darling. Hopefully it sorts itself out in a minute. Anyway, go on then, Robert. Off you go. Love you, Patricia.
Okay. So what I wanted to do is show you where I live and what the sun is doing today. This is the Truth Mobile, of course. I had this at the Flat Earth International Conference, and we're facing northeast. That's where my street faces here, northeast. That's where the sun should be appearing soon at 6:08, I believe it is this morning. And then it's going to run a path throughout the day and then set right over here. And what's very, very interesting about that is that that's not rising in the east and setting in the west. That's rising in the northeast and setting in the northwest. Much, much different than we're being told. And one of the things that happens with that is that we end up, we're given an explanation of how things work by the supposed experts of our world. And they're,
Robert, we can't. That's it, you're back.
I muted myself. Sorry about that. Somebody's got to do it, huh? Well, the system would try and shut me up, but good
Very
luck with
quickly,
that.
Robert, before you carry on, it's been ages since we've had a hangout with you. It's nice to be back. Hello,
thanks.
everybody on Sun and Moon, and spread the word. We're back.
Well, thank you so much for having me back. I remember years ago when I didn't have 100 subscribers yet, and I found out that that's what I needed to be able to go live mobile, which is a big difference. And so
You
I was
need
able to do
1,000
that
now,
with your
Robert.
help. What's
Robert,
that?
you need 1,000 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Although someone's found a way of doing it through an app, but if you do it through YouTube, you need 1,000 subs to go live.
Well, what another workaround that I tell everybody that'll listen is that you can go live on Facebook with no subscribers. Obviously, you can just do it and then download it to your computer and upload it to YouTube. I do that largely because of the notification process benefit of that. And I wanted to show you what this looks like here because it is so fabulously gorgeous right now.
Dawn's my favorite time, Robert. I love dawn.
It is mine as well. So,
and the thing is, everything changes, doesn't it? It goes so quiet and still, and it even goes colder just before dawn.
it sure can. And part of the dynamic too that I've done with my videos more recently is to start out in the dark and end with the sun up, which helps people see that transition. And it's amazing. The canopy of clouds and moisture in the air is not only conductive of temperature, it's conductive of light. It's a tapestry of light that we can see. And one of the things that we can't see here right now is how small and local the sun is. However, I've got many occurrences where that is so obvious. Depending on the cloud consistency, the moisture in the air, we can see a small localized light, And as it approaches, everything lights up. It's so beautiful. Now, that's the point in Cherry Grove over there where I've done a lot of video. That's where the island is. That was where I shot my profile photo and the tidal pools. And then the ocean is over this way. That would be facing like Texas right over there. And that's where our dish is pointed. It's not pointed at a satellite. It's pointed at a frequency that's being put up into, probably bounced off of the dome, the firmament. And so I'm going to unpack a couple other things and take us for a little bit of a ride.
Hey, Robert, can I ask you something? What's that thing on
Sure.
your garden? What's that thing, that green thing on your garden? Is that a sub something or other?
On my where?
There's a box next to that plant over there, with the writing.
Oh, well, okay. So that would be internet and telephone. And then this is power right there, electricity. And yeah, I've got a smart meter over there. They can, rather than having a meter reader that goes up to each meter, they'll drive a truck through and it's wirelessly connected. It's just the way that that's done here now. So I'm going to show you this right here. That sticker is new since we've been on a hangout. And the YouTube Truth Mobile will draw a lot of attention wherever I take it. And that's obviously why I do it. I want the attention to be drawn to the message, the truth. So like if somebody wants to have stickers like this, they can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Robert Foertsch or YouTube Truth at 169. And then I'm going to show you Cloverleaf Drive. It's where I live. Now, I've got it written down on a piece of paper, but because we're on a hangout, I just thought I would do it like this for now. A little bit different. That's the street address. So what I've done with that is made stickers available for people that can go ahead and share that message if they want to. You know, YouTube Truth. If somebody else wants to have that channel name, that's fine with me. I don't mind. What I'm trying to do is have a high concentration of truth mixed with some humor in that. So in the context of all of this, what can happen is some people will put those stickers on their cell phones, and they'll put them on their bodies too for spring break. That's pretty common. I've got them on my wind chime right here. Obviously, wind chimes can't hang upside down anywhere. I think my camera just flipped. Now, do you see it in the correct orientation, or is it upside down for you?
No, it's fine.
Yeah. How about yeah, it'll just keep on changing. On some of the different platforms, it's different. If I flip it on YouTube, I won't be able to see the view. If I flip it on Facebook, it'll stay upside down. So it's kind of interesting. It was a way for me to show that.
I see what you've done. You're not allowed to put things outside your garage. So what you've done is you open the garage door up and they're on the inside.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got quite a bit there. When the door is open, and I've got that. This is the Truth Cycle, which works really good for taking to the beach when it's really crowded. Parking can be a challenge. I can get real creative with where I put this. I'll just leave it at that. What has happened is they're charging for a lot of parking when it's before 9 or after 9 a.m. and before 5 p.m. So there are still places where I can put this without paying for that. I probably won't pay for any parking. It's just an opportunity to show the vehicle, which will lead some people to the truth. They'll see it and I'll see their head snap. Now, one of the things that I'll do too with the logo and that when I introduced this logo to my shirts and all that, it was right after YouTube changed their mobile app to this. So I'll see small children that are, you know, a few years old that'll snap their neck when they'll look at me real quick, because they recognize the mobile app. A lot of children are actually on the smartphone before they walk. 1 out of 3, I believe it is. And it gives actually some programming options that are relatively truthful. Whereas primarily on the the television, there's going to be a lot of deception. It's the standard programming for people. So I'm going to go ahead and take us on in. Let me see. Let me walk around this way here.
What, are we going in your car?
Not right now.
Oh,
I wanted to take you to my broadcast studio as well. Right out here, we've got the climate control. It's a heat pump that'll change the temperature and humidity in the house. It's a big deal because, like yesterday morning, it was like 85 degrees and 90-some% humidity. The water still does this wherever it is. Undisturbed water is flat and level. That's what it does. And I wanted to go ahead and just show you. Oh, you know what? One of the precious little kitties passed away. We've got 3 of them by this bird bath here.
what one? What? Which one?
Her name was Olive. She was in a lot of the recordings. She would climb on me.
Oh,
Yeah, I called her Kiwi, but she was healthy that morning and dead that night. It happened so fast indeed. So when I have my chairs on the beach, they'll be stickered up as well.
what? If we come near your house, we get a sticker on us.
That would be just fine.
I'm sorry about the pussycat.
Oh, thanks for saying so, Karen.
Yeah,
So this right
really
here
bad.
is
Sorry.
well, we still have 5 more of them. Here's Dean right there. Yeah, Dean's funny.
Do they miss her?
Oh my gosh, yes. She was precious.
How old was she?
We think probably about 7.
Oh, Robert, look at all your mirrors.
Oh yeah. Now this is one of the videos that I shot like yesterday, I think it was, or the day
Can I ask you something?
before.
Are you still sleeping on the billiard table?
Yeah, let me change the lighting a bit. I
You
gave
still
the
sleeping on there, Robert?
I gave the kitties a bath this morning. It didn't look quite this dark when I was done, but I'm using purified water, coconut oil, and baking soda. Dean likes it. And so like when I'm in here and I do a therapeutic soak, I may be on, I'm not sure where this is, but I've seen some photos of New York and the new Trade Center. It's amazing how low New York is to the water. It's really, really low on the like Manhattan and that. So all the plants generate a lot of oxygen. The clean drinking water is critical for like a therapeutic soak, a replacement of the liquid in my body. It's going to take a lot of the toxins out of. This right here, I shot from the parking ramp at the Cherry Grove Pier area, the Prince Resort. It's kind of interesting to see the movement of the sun in relationship to a fixed structure like that. Right, Dean? Yeah, Dean's all about it. So like right out here, I have that bird bath that used to be in the front yard. and wind chime out there. It's really calm today. Very, very calm indeed. Yesterday we had
We've
a
got
mom.
nice weather at the moment, Robert.
Oh yeah, yeah. It should be beautiful
It
for
is.
the fireworks tonight. Oh, you do. What's your
Oh, it's 4th
temperature
of
there?
July. Happy 4th of July. I'm so sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Not a
knew it was
UK
coming.
thing, but yeah, happy 4th of July, America.
Thanks. It's good to be free. Is that what we are? Is that how this works?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the illusion of freedom. I'm free though. I'm loving it. So what I wanted to say here too is we have out in back here a couple of adult swans and a baby. They're not there right now, but they'll hopefully be back soon.
So are we waiting for the sun to come up, or are we going to be in your house then, Robert?
Both in and out. What I wanted to show though is the pool table, the billiards, and one of the things that's interesting. Dean loves to play pool. I've got him on my video the other day when I broke the balls. But let me show you something really quick here with this, and I'm going to take us back out for the sunrise in a moment.
Is it what the mirrors are for, are they?
Well, I like them because they bounce the light and I get to see a lot of different perspectives. So one of the spoiler alerts here is, well, it's the reality actually. How could this work if we were spinning, wobbling, and gyrating? That was terrible. I need a little
Do it
chalk
again,
on
Robert.
that. Okay, here we go. So Joni is in the house and she's sleeping right now, so I didn't want to make it really loud. Size matters. This right here is a little bit of a smaller cue for those tight spots, and then I've got the full size cue that is designed when I have a full reach. So the way that works is this little one is balanced perfectly and it works for really tight shots. One of the things to keep in mind is that because we're not spinning, wobbling, or gyrating, that happens. It'll just stop moving. You know, people will give the example of, well, all the other planets are round. Yeah, right. Well, anyway, I've got evidence that that's not the case. But undisturbed water is flat and level. There would be no level anywhere if we were moving at all. And that's just the way that is. This was on the roof of my car at the Flat Earth Conference. Here's a crystal bell, obviously not moving at all. They can't hang upside down. And that'll just stop. That's one of those reminders when you hear that bell ringing, that's the evidence. That's part of the evidence of that we're not moving. So one of the other things that I wanted, oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure Patricia wants to say something.
Go ahead.
Patricia?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, she's just listening in. I just thought I could hear a click. I thought she was about to say so. Oh, here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
Oh, yeah. See, even in the past, I would say in the past week, it went from rising right over the middle of the end of the road to over there now.
Starting to go back, isn't it?
It's moving southward. Later on, when it's and I've got video evidence from this location, when it's cold outside, and we're talking like December and that, it'll be approaching from that vantage point over there. Wow, that's a big variance, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And then when it does that,
you know what, Robert? If you're in Australia, the sun has to be low and in the south for it to be hot. but for us, it has to be high and in the north to be hot. They have the total opposite.
Huh.
Low
Let me show you the look I've got huh? I'm trying to figure out how that works. Wanted the deer in the headlights look. You know what? There's quite a bit of mystery with all this, to be clear. The sun is definitely hot. We know that. Water is wet. The sun is hot. That's kind of funny, but I wanted to get one of my new globes. So what happened was I left the door open in the car for a moment when I was, let me get, how were my nose hairs? Were they okay? Here, let's flip that around. Whoops. Okay. So what I wanted to do is flip the camera. I had the car door open and my beach ball blew out in a 20-mile-an-hour wind and it went away. So I got 3 new ones from Amazon.com, and I've got helium in this one. I don't want moisture inside. If I inflate it by blowing it up, there will be a lot of condensation in there. So the sun will come up here and go way up high and then drop over there today. That's what it'll do.
It goes quite straight, does it? When my sun comes up northeast, it sort of goes left and then meets its track and then goes across the sky.
Right. Now, in the winter time,
like half a triangle, like that roof. It goes to a point and then across.
So like in the winter, like I was saying, when it comes up here and it's low in the sky, it'll set way over there and run that really much lower course. So it depends on the vantage point of the viewer where that appears. So even in the some of the data that I use, like the Tides Near Me app, it's very accurate here, letting me know the tidal activity and the duration that the sun and the moon will be visible in the day, and then what the percentage of the moon is at moonrise and moonset. Very fascinating indeed. Now, I can't confirm it at any other location than the one I'm at. I can't confirm it personally. I would need to be able to trust whoever it is that I'm going to rely on to say, yep, I'm in Australia, and here's when and where it is, and all of that. So although I've got friends all over the world, I have no way of verifying except exactly where I am personally. Because many of my friends that are on in other countries, that's what their profile says. I can't actually confirm that. To be intellectually honest, that's just the way it is. That'll stop too. Glad you like that. I've got another surprise for you too. You've never heard this before, from me anyway.
So I don't do helium often, but when I do, I like to be on a Google Hangout with Karen and Patricia.
There you go. So what it is too is it's really dry, and that's one of the reasons why I'll do that. So let me just set this down.
How much did the helium cost you, Robert?
About $30. And it is actually, of course, lighter than the air around it. I thought that it would be potentially light enough to make it float, not even close. I had another ball that I trimmed a lot of the extra plastic off, it still wasn't enough to make that happen.
So even though the helium's lighter than the air, it won't float.
Well, it'll float in the bathtub, just not in the air.
Is that a bit weird then, Robert?
What's that?
A lot of people think there's helium up above us.
Yeah, there is. It's a trace element in the air. In the air that we breathe, there's a lot of nitrogen, oxygen, helium, argon, krypton, apparently. I don't know.
They have to be there for the dawn, don't they, really? Because that's what's going on with all that light and stuff, isn't it?
Well, when the sun is lower on the horizon, lower from the visibility of the observer, what ends up happening is it's going through different elements in the air, nitrogen, oxygen, and then of course whatever particulate is in the air. When we lived in California like 35 years ago, because of a lot of the commerce and manufacture that was going on there and aerospace industry and all that, there would be chemicals in the atmosphere that would give real pretty sunsets. and I took pictures of some of them. They would be metallic looking. There would be like chromium or maybe like titanium. When you're dealing with the aerospace industry, you're dealing with a lot of exotic metals, and then they fabricate those metals and finish them and then vent the air outside. And so, for example, you don't want to breathe in metal. I used to finish metal and it'll rust in the lungs. It's not good. And maybe you've heard of like black lung disease, right? Have you ever heard of that? Black lung? That comes from people working in the coal industry. Very dirty and very dangerous. So what we have in our world is, and I've been talking about this. I want to show you what I was recording yesterday. It's the sun, and of course with the let's see. I think I might be talking on that. I'm not sure. It's hard to shut me out. Let's see, where is my channel changer? There it is. So one more time, the sun appears to be in the clouds, with the sun, moon, and stars moving above the face of the earth. There's a firmament that's up above the earth that is a protective dome that separates the waters from above from these waters down below. So I would say it's obvious to see that those clouds right there are very close. For whatever reason, how it actually works, I don't see a light beam coming into this and then exiting it. It appears to be the source of the light, and yet look at how much lighter. I guess I can use my finger for that. How much lighter it is right there than later. Now I actually or the other areas further around it, and I've had the opportunity to capture quite a bit of this occurrence, and we can watch even right now. It's continuing to move. Right down here is the antenna. There you go. Remember earlier in the video, it was way down here, and it's doing this. So that's part of what I have brought to this discussion of cosmology and the nature of the world that we live in. I've got a lot of sweat equity in this. I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of data that I've captured. For example, this right here has 4 terabytes of data. I've got several several of those that are chock full. I'm probably at about right around 15 to 20,000 terabytes of data that I've stored up. And so what I'll do is take the Facebook broadcast, which is a notification potentially to 2 billion people that are on Facebook. Because of my activity on Facebook, I've got my 5,000 friend limit and like 3,800 and some followers. Of that, only a few people are may only be paying attention on a regular basis. I don't know how many. Where I was going, I've got to show you this. This is kind of a big deal. Okay, so in the middle of the view here, oh, Robert, stop moving the camera so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the device that's operating this video right now. So I would have to change it. But what I wanted to say is I showed the open ocean and then the tidal area next to it. I'll show you right here. That's going towards the Prince Pier. There it is. And the open ocean there. So what's interesting about that is just kind of putting it in the perspective of, well, this is reality. Okay, that's obviously the beach. They'll be doing fireworks off of the pier, I believe tonight, weather permitting. They probably have the pier blocked off right now. There are cameras on that pier right now. Wow, that's weird. It's me.
You're
it's
on the
me and me. Wow, look at that. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's two Roberts.
And okay, so here's what I wanted to show you. The open ocean there, and then the tidal area, the coastal preserve. I'm glad I went back to that. From about 100 feet of elevation above sea level. The water is not only flat, it's also level. And let me see, I wanted to show something here. I've got this one that I've used, and I put the labels not only there so like somebody can see it driving by or walking by. It's when I do a video and I say, okay, I just sat that down. It stopped moving. And let me adjust it so you can see it really good. See, that bubble will just stay there. And I know there are people that have talked about we need a ring laser gyroscope, a $20,000 gyroscope to prove the Earth isn't moving and blah, blah, blah. Get yourself a cup of coffee, sit down and relax and set that bad boy down, and it's not going to move. Get yourself a little laser level, or not laser level, but just a regular level. This is what Kiwi would do, or Olive. She would be all over me when we would do the broadcast. Now Dean kind of took her place. But the cats are, they're, ouch, he bites. Ow.
Oh.
But he does it in a playful way. He's not like attacking me. But there he's going for it. So one of the things that
they get frisky when you touch them, and it's getting frisky now.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things that I've added to me, and I had them off for years, would be the sunglasses. And these are polarized. I don't know if my sensitivity to the light is more than it used to be, but the idea of it seems brighter. I wanted to show you this. Oh, let me look at the mirror that is.
And it's still.
Oh yeah. Oh, there we are again. Oh, oh, wow, look at how many of me are there. And that's part of the thing that I would do, is just see how many views I can get. It's all about the views, right?
You did get
So-
your mirrors up in the end then, Robert.
What's that?
You got your mirrors up in the end.
Oh yeah, of course. Let me see. I was wanting to find something else here. Let's see, where did I put that? Oh my gosh. So do y'all have any questions at this point?
Well, it's been really nice catching up with you. We've been going for nearly 45 minutes already. Would you believe it?
Wow, time flies when we're having fun.
It does. It's nice to see that you've got all your mirrors up. And
In my billiard table.
do you still sleep on there, Robert?
I do. And when I put some padding on that, I have a Select Comfort mattress that I was using. But the idea with that is I actually like it better with minimal padding. I'll put some microfiber padding on there. It's real light, easy to take off, and it looks great. But here's what'll happen. When I lay down and relax, I can feel my back pop. Like if you have you ever gone to a chiropractor?
Right.
Well, when I take a deep breath and relax and I can feel multiple pops, that doesn't happen on a mattress. Not at all. I don't ever remember it happening. So what the reason I've got the mattress that I can bring on out and put up there if I want to, but I actually like how firm it is. It's enough padding, but and it may seem kind of odd. I am a bit odd. We get that. I'm glad you don't mind. And that may be one of the reasons why I was given an opportunity to talk to so many people all over the earth. Because since we've talked, I'm between 30 and 40 million views. Over 30 million people conservatively have seen the spelling of my name. Now, do you see that in reverse or is it straightforward?
It's straightforward, Robert. It's how we see it normally.
Yeah, and that's different than Facebook. Facebook will reverse it. But the point of that is so many people saw my video and my name when I was interviewed by Brady from HBO Vice News. And then I don't know if the independent content producers like PewDiePie and Triggered Tro decided that they wanted to take some of those particular sound bites. But the one about the do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, and gyrating, or we don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity, it's just water seeking its level. Water seeks level? That doesn't make any sense. Of course it does. Makes perfect sense. It's the reality of the world that we live in. So the demographic of the youth that are largely waking up, of course, it's all ages that are becoming aware that much of what we're told is not accurate. So when I had the Santa Claus hat above and behind the mirror that people would look at when they would come and talk to me, I'd say, did you believe the Santa Claus lie that Santa was trying to figure out whether to bring you a lump of coal or your wish list? Yeah, most people say yeah. It's like over 95%.
Do you know what, Robert? On one of my other channels, I had a comment from one of the people. They just said that basically they wish that sometimes I wish that I was just ignorant and I could have my old world back, because that's what it is, isn't it? We believed everything. We didn't, 20, 30 years ago, we weren't questioning things like we do now. And the world will never be the same again for us.
Well, and that, what that individual articulated is where a lot of people are at now. they don't want to have their current view changed.
It's everything you believe in, isn't it? It's everything you believe in isn't real. Or, like the other channel I'm doing, we don't go into that one because, I'm looking at a case on that's airing now. Well, has been airing, and it's just. If you've woken up, being awake isn't exactly the easiest thing sometimes, is it? I'd rather know the truth.
Now, Karen, I wanted to, before we sign off, it's interesting that I didn't really deal with this as much as I wanted to, but I need a couple of minutes to just unpack some of what I've been featuring, and it relates exactly to what we're talking about. And that is artificial intelligence won't be super intelligence and self-aware someday. It already is and has been for quite some time. And it I believe delights itself in causing us to think that it's the source of gangly robots that may take some people's jobs. It's more than that. When we were preparing for Y2K, I believe a lot of technology was integrated into the power generation, electrical power generation, and distribution systems of the world so that it has direct access to that. And so if we were to have the power shut off in the world for a year, we would lose maybe over 90% of the world's population. If it were shut off for 1 week in an area that was hit with 110 below wind chill, I would say probably 90% of that population would be dead. In an area like this, if the power were shut off in the summertime, we would have people overheat and food would go bad and they would be hungry, and even a strong, healthy individual with
just a few degrees difference can make such a difference, can't it?
Oh, big time. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't feel like it, but just, even going from 20 to 30 degrees, wherever it's degrees, that is 10 degrees is still a lot.
Right. People can die in 30-degree weather, but that's not even the biggest deal that I'm talking about. Artificial intelligence. Okay, people say there's one clip that says there's never been a conspiracy. For a conspiracy, by definition, is two people conspiring to do an illegal act, two or more people. So two kids stealing a bicycle is a conspiracy. What do you call it when artificial intelligence is presenting a false reality to humanity, hijacking the cyber, creating a cybernetic collective where we use smart devices to base our thoughts and beliefs and emotions on sometimes a false reality. So fear is false evidence appearing real, I believe, in many cases. And then there's real evidence appearing false to so many, which is deception. It's the opposite. So when recently Facebook had a glitch in it, I did 3 broadcasts and I had a blank screen at the end. Typically, when I go live, I'll have people on it right away and they'll be watching it continually. So when I saw no presence of anybody watching, I thought, does anybody know what I'm doing right now? I mean, any people, AI knows, artificial intelligence knows. Well, there was some kind of glitch, don't know what it was. And I joked about it. I said, I don't believe Mark Zuckerberg is just trying to make our lives a little bit more difficult.
Was this a few weeks ago, Robert?
We had that happen yesterday.
A few weeks ago, everything went. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. In fact, someone wrote to me and said, the other channel, like, is it gone? But it wasn't. It was a YouTube glitch. But I found it out. It was a glitch for many, many social medias. Just went down for about half an hour.
Okay. So, yeah. And that's, I don't know what the real cause or desired outcome
adding
of
some
that is.
AI to it or something.
Well, one of the things that it does is it lets the system measure what kind of response the people have. I'll kind of joke about it. Jeff Bezos, I believe his name is the Amazon CEO. He's the wealthiest man in the world. And there's Smeagol up there checking out the glass. He looks like my doctor, Mr. Bigglesworth, I think is the name of him. Let me show you. I'll get back to the.
Can I say something? We're sort of coming up for an hour now. Remember, I said an hour.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we want to talk a bit more about the other thing that you know, the artificial, all that, do you want to come back and do another one in a week
Sure.
or something? Because
Sure, I can do that.
It's your latest thing, isn't it? Is that?
It is. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of a wrap on this then. Until then, here's the situation as best I can tell. AI controls the creation and distribution of almost all the information happening in humanity. The rock stars of business, whether it's Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos with Amazon, or Mark Zuckerberg, and the different executives that are data mining, tracking, tracing, data mining. Some say, oh, it's a military, it's a CIA thing, it's an artificial intelligence thing, is what it is. And that's, Corey, it's what I would call the mark of the beast system. It is the direction that humanity is going to, a culmination of the end of things as we know it. So what I've done is made a lot of commenting on that. If somebody wants to know more about AI, you can look at my playlist. You can hashtag artificial intelligence or AI or Robert Foertsch, and you'll see all of that. That's part of what I'm talking about there. So what I would want to say as well, when many of us were waking up to a lot of this reality, we were given different recommendations for our searches than a lot of people are getting now. And it's a very elaborate system of information distribution, so that people will look at those of us that are waking up as, they're crazy people. Oh, yeah? Oh, really? Okay. Well, believe whatever you want. Most people do. And that's pretty much the way that works out. Oh, so how did you want to wrap up the broadcast then, Karen?
Yeah, because we're going at the moment for about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. But do you want to come back? Look at your cat. Do you want to come back and talk a bit more about the other thing, Robert?
Well, yeah, and that can be whenever you want.
We'll arrange that. Well, it's been real fun talking with you. You know, you're one of our Sun and Moon's oldest friends. I'm one of my first Flat Earth friends.
Thank you.
And, yeah, Patricia, do you want to say anything?
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, Robert, it's been really interesting. I loved the bit with the helium balloon, by the way. I just didn't say it out because I think Karen said it for both of us, really. But yeah, it's been really interesting. And like Karen says, I really like listening to you. You're such a genuine person and very informative. So, and I love you. So, that's all I wanted to say.
Sun and Moon loves you.
Hey, thank you so much, Patricia. You know, it's really an amazing time to be alive, to be able to share our perspectives. And one of the things that I wanted to finish up by saying, when two people get together and they recognize they have a difference of opinion, that can be very divisive. When somebody is at a point in their life when they are questioning, they're curious, is what I'm believing true, or is it just what I've been presented as fact, like Santa Claus? Is it another Is it another one of those things? And what I found out is that when there's curiosity present, people want to know, hey, is this real? Is this what this person is talking about? Is that real, or is
Do you
it
feel that
more
people
theater?
are talking to you more on the beach about it, Robert?
I'm sorry?
Do you feel that more people are coming up to you and asking you?
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it is the season. It's a very busy time of the year. We are expecting 20 million guests here this year, and because of that, that's just a whole lot of people that are questioning well, they're reflective. They're reflective off of the water, the sand. They're reflective on their lives. Some are starting over. With that many people, there's uh, honeymoons, divorces, memorials. All of that is going on. It's a symphony of humanity, right, Smeagol? Yes. Well, I sure do.
Robert, last bit. What do you want to say on exiting?
Do I want to say what?
What do you want to say just before we finish? Anything else you'd like to add before we finish? Obviously, you're going to come back and talk a bit more.
Well, what I would say is that please explore my liked video playlist. I like my own stuff because it adds it into the playlist, and I love what I do as well. If you scroll through my videos, you're going to see, I believe, some very powerful documentaries exposing what I talk about. And that, and what you can do if you like, if you've got some information that you want to share with me, you can copy and paste that link in a comment. I may add that to my liked videos. That's part of what has happened is I've had a lot of friends that are very brave and have sent me information that I take out public. And so I'm not chasing people down with stickers and all of that. Normally people come up to me, and when that happens, I've got a sticker for them if they want. And what I was sharing like yesterday, and I'll say it again, you could get the sticker if you want, but you can go ahead and type that or whatever you want in a comment. But my truth channel has I've covered so much that I believe people should be aware of. And with that in mind,
yes, Robert, amazing
so
man
much.
on the beach capturing our sun and moon. Amazing.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been
Robert,
a genuine pleasure.
We love Robert as always.
Love you all too.
And
Thank you so much.
well, we'll say goodbye off air, but you'll be back on air with us shortly, soon, to do your other bit, which we were finishing on.
Sure. That sounds great. And as always, my contact information is available, and you can call me any time.
I do, Robert. I do call you anytime.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that you do. I was going to say others can as well. I was looking for. Oh, let me see. Yeah, that's the PewDiePie video that I'm in. That's that right there is like 11 million views. Look at this nut job. Here, let me turn him up.
I don't know if you should though, Robert, because it's probably copyrighted. Remember, don't turn it up. Sorry, Robert.
Oh,
Especially don't turn it up because everything's copyrighted and stuff.
it doesn't fly out of the toilet because water seeks its level. Water seeks its level. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble now. We're gonna get a copyright. No, I don't want to do that.
Well, yeah, sorry. Just got to be careful. But yeah, we know you're on that one, and everybody obviously does because they're going to look at it. Anyway,
it's funny. I'll tell you what. At first, it kind of freaked me out, but I'm enjoying the fact that people can see that water seeks level. That's just what it does. All right. So thank you so much.
Anyway, on air,
Did you
we'll
want
say
me
goodbye.
to,
We'll say goodbye
stand-
to us off air. But thank you, Robert Foertsch. A
Oh,
true.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.